Okay. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our movie class. Today we will speak about movie Contagion. Contagion. Is it correct? Contagion 12, 2011. So it's not a fresh one. It's 9 years ago. 9 years ago, but it's pretty much about current situation, I would say. So how we can say this? A lot of parallels between that situation and what we have now.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let's start. Let's speak about this plot of the movie. Leila, you have watched it, right? Can I ask
Yes.
you?
Unfortunately, I watched the film.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, because Andrew, it affected me a lot in a terrible way.
Can
you
I say
know?
one thing? I haven't seen the film. I didn't get enough time to watch the film.
No problem.
So Leila, you've seen it and I haven't seen it.
Well, Andrew, it's like the coronavirus today, but imagine it being deadly. That's what the movie was about.
Then
okay?
we'd be in real trouble then.
Yeah, well, like really deadly, like 100%. You know, you got it, you're dead, and it's fast, like in a few days. So it's a game changer, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, Leila, please tell us about the story.
I think it's a medical thriller film, and I just started watching it, and I saw the lady at the airport and waiting for her flight. And then she took the plane and she went home. It was from Hong Kong, right? The plane is from Hong Kong, and her family met her a husband and a small boy, son. So in an instant, I think in one day time, the lady died and the boy died. It started like this, and suddenly this virus spreads all over the cities, Switzerland, the country Switzerland, and what else?
Yeah, describe her. What's the name for the symptoms?
They couldn't take a breath properly. They sweat a lot, and they couldn't walk. They can't see very well. What else?
She had. Do you remember this? She had red spots, like
Yeah.
What's the name for this?
Yeah.
Harsh.
A rash.
Okay, rash.
Okay.
What were the major differences between the coronavirus and this virus?
I don't know. I did not have coronavirus yet.
People die.
Thank God. I don't need to cover my mouth, Ivan.
I think this one had a 5-day, what do we call it? 5-day incubation period, and then when it hit you, it developed pretty fast. Within a few days, you were dead, and very contagious. Anything you touched, someone else could touch it and get it.
Contagious. Yeah, contagious is a good
A
word.
fast-moving epidemic, we call it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the difference between epidemic and pandemic? Pandemic.
Pandemic.
So what is the difference?
Scale.
Yeah.
And it's subjective. It's subjective. So epidemic might be a city, pandemic might be your whole country. Or your whole country might be an epidemic, and pandemic might be the whole world. The CDC or the authorities define those.
Okay. So in the movie, we definitely had a pandemic, right? Because it was a war, whole world. Okay, thank you, Leila. Thank you very much. Sergey, please, could you continue with the story?
Yes. When Ben have arrived at home, she shared the unknown virus among her family, and after that, she was died. In 2 days, her son was died, but
So, yeah,
was dead.
I'm sorry, yeah, but was died looks incorrect. Just died, maybe.
Died. Okay. And
Yeah, he died from it. Her son died as well, you can say. She died and her son died too.
And surprised for us, and her husband has antivirus
Immunity, how we call it.
Yeah, immunity. Yeah,
immune system.
Immunity, yeah. I'm immune to this virus.
Yeah,
it means that I'm not a victim.
You can't get it. You can't attract the virus.
And after that, we saw the sharing. We saw the sharing of virus everywhere in the Hong Kong, in Russia, in the US, and everywhere. And a very interesting moment was as they show for us sharing the touching in buses, touching in the underground, drinking dirty glasses, and I think it's true according our coronavirus.
Yeah, we can see that now, right? Now everywhere.
I was impressed. I was impressed of movie, and
now guys, probably you have the same, but in Russia we have like small posters everywhere. Wash your hands. Don't touch things. Be careful. Vasans, correct me if I'm wrong. I read in the news that in India they have mobile operators. They have some promotion. When you call someone, they'll tell you wash your hands.
Yes. It's an automated voice, just like having a caller tune or something. When you call somebody, the automated voice will say that keep your hands clean and do not get intimidated with anyone who has the symptoms. So yes, it's good, but sometimes it's annoying because every time you call the same person, it repeats, and you have to wait for 30 seconds to get the ringing tone.
Yeah, but it's a good way to raise what you raise.
Awareness.
Awareness.
To raise awareness, yeah.
But it's sad because it's a basic thing to wash your hands. I do that every time when I use the public transport and when I return home, I use that. I do that. But it's sad that the government had to educate the people for the basic thing.
Yeah, not to touch your face as well, because that's a common thing we do without noticing, right? I do it all the time.
There was a numbers in the movies. They said like 2,000 times in a day.
Yeah.
We touch our face 2,000. Probably I do this 100 times.
We probably do it in our sleep a lot.
It's interesting. We had a video on the internet yesterday. A medical guy, a brain surgeon named Ben Carson, gave a speech. And he's sitting at a podium and he's telling people how not to spread the virus. I mean, this is serious. And he's sitting there talking and he goes, then he touches the microphone and he got torn apart on the comments like,
Is this the Ben Carson?
Yeah.
The politician, yeah?
Yeah, he was a brain surgeon.
Nice.
And here he's doing all the wrong things in a speech where he's supposed to be telling you how not to spread it. So he just got torn apart.
He got called in on a sick day.
Yeah.
Okay, but Vasans, I think that these small posters and these things, they work, I consider myself like an educated man, but I found that I started to wash my hand, 100 times more than before.
Very conscious now.
Very conscious now. How we call these things that we had, that we are getting when we do some labor, some
Calluses.
calluses. Yeah, I almost have calluses from washing my hands.
How do you call that in English? This gel?
Sanitizer. Is it hand sanitizer?
Yeah.
Maybe?
With alcohol?
Yeah, hand sanitizer.
Okay.
In Moscow, we cannot buy any sanitizer for more than a week already.
Really?
Yeah, same thing in America. Everyone's hoarding it. But soap and water is even better,
In our country, it's the toilet paper.
in whole the world.
I'm here too.
Welcome to Russia.
Yeah.
We have the toilet paper.
Yeah, we
Yes.
have a lot of this toilet
You
paper.
look very relaxed, Sergey. You look like nothing is bothering you.
Yeah.
Chilling out in your robe.
Yeah.
You have a special mindset, you know.
In America, capitalism is at its best. We've got people spending $70,000 buying toilet paper and hand sanitizer and selling it for a profit on Amazon.
It'd be great presents for the grandkids as well.
Okay, let's go back to the movie. Hassan, could you continue, please?
Yes, after that, so where we stopped, like,
We stopped at, I think, let's start from the hospital, you know, so the epidemic started. So we know how it spread.
and after that, they found that Matt Damon was immune to that virus. They had him quarantined for some time, and they decided he was immune. And the other was every government official was alerted about this crisis, and they started to work on discovering, how to say that, to finding an antivirus.
A cure.
A cure. Okay.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. And as the how to say that, the process goes, the people who are involved in the research also got affected and started to die. So the situation got worse every day by day.
I'm sorry for interrupt you. Teacher Lee, you wrote just important thing. R-O, run out. How it is this? R now?
Are not.
Are not. What does not mean?
Not is a slang for zero.
Okay.
Or sub-zero. Yeah.
Okay. So, Wasans, did you get it? What is R now? It's a number. How many people, you know, you will, what's the word for this? Contaminate?
Spread.
Yeah. How many people will get virus from you if you get one?
You can say contract as well. How many people will contract the virus?
Contract. Okay, thank you. Reproduction factor. Good. So this virus is highly contagious, right? So compared to others one. So that's why epidemic started. I know the movie is kind of long, so let's go, you know, without all the small details. We will have a conversation. I guess that everyone has something to say about this coronavirus and all these cases. So let's finish with the movie. Gerard, could you continue, please?
We can also see the actress Kate Winslet.
Mm-hmm.
I think she was in the CDC as well. And he's always investigating the illness, and she catches it.
She
caught the illness, the disease.
And she died, I guess, right?
Yeah, she eventually died in the middle, in a place, in a sports. How do you call that? This place?
Gymnasium, school. I think a school gymnasium.
A school gymnasium, yeah. There are many people ill, so they cannot be treated properly.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't talk about the guy performed by Jude Law, the actor Jude Law, you know, the guy that is a blogger. And, conspiracy theories, you know, and he's telling that to his followers that he has a remedy to heal the illness. I think it's something homeopathy. How do you call that? Homeopathy?
Homeopathy?
Homeopathy, yeah.
Homeopathy. But we can see during the movie that he's a liar. He only makes a show. He said in the blog while he was recording a video that he was injecting the illness. But
he was not only a liar, he was a good businessman, right?
Yeah.
He was getting benefits from selling this fake cure. But you know, many people believe in homeopathy. They think it's something real. So
and conspiracy theories. How many conspiracy theories have we heard about the coronavirus? That the Chinese invented, the US,
Americans did it.
The Russian. Everybody has been blamed.
I blame Canada.
and the guy also said, what he said? I lost.
So this guy was kind of the bad guy in the movie. He was pushing a fake cure on the internet. So he's a YouTube influencer, and he had like 12 million followers. Yeah. And he was going to tell them, don't take the real cure. That's fake. Take my cure, which is real. So he was kind of going to let 12 million people die, more or less.
Yep.
Not a good guy.
He blamed the pharmaceutical companies. He said the pharmaceutical companies invented the virus, so they already have the cure or the vaccine. So they want to make a lot of money.
Yeah. But you know, there is nothing new in that. Yes, we can see that just now. You know, many people with homeopathy, with conspiracy theory, a lot of bloggers who has own version of coronavirus and all these things. So humankind as is.
Yeah.
Okay, we know a bad guy from the movie. So this blogger, I like this subplot a lot. So I would like to talk more about this, but let's find someone good in the movie. So Leila, tell us who was a good character in the movie?
I think the lady whose father caught the disease, and her father was at hospital, and she did her best to help him. And she had an experiment. She did an experiment, and she tried this on herself first.
Yeah, but
and I'm really impressed.
Can you describe those experiments? What they trying to do? What they trying to approach?
They were trying to find a solution, a kind of vaccine against the disease.
And how?
They did a lot of experiments on monkeys.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Actually, they just make monkeys sick and wait if they survive. If they survive, they take this blood and separate the vaccine from it. Yeah. But unfortunately,
meanwhile, the World Health Organization declared a public health emergency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I like the lady a lot. If I were her, I would do the same.
The problem in the movie was red tape. Okay, the U.S. is very slow. They said, well, if we get a cure, how long will it take to get it out? Oh, it'll take months to get approvals, and then more months to get it, to do this. And it'll take maybe a year before we can get this thing out. So there were really two heroes in the movie. One was this guy in California. I forgot his name.
Sussan.
A professor. And he only had a level 3 laboratory, which was not as secure as a level 4 laboratory.
Mm-hmm.
So the black guy, which is Morpheus from Matrix, I'll call him Morpheus, when he saw that the contagion was becoming very, very serious, he told California to shut down your laboratory because it's not secure enough. And the guy in California said, but I'm so close. I'm so close. Nope, shut it down. So he cheated. He ignored the directive, and he continued working on it. And he found some key information about it. And he shared that with CDC in Atlanta. And that helped them a lot. And then the daughter of the sick man, she's the one that she needed a guinea pig, and it would take months and months. So she just injected herself and say, I'll find out right now. So those two people were kind of the heroes in the movie, even though they broke all the rules.
Yeah, if I'm right,
He's my hero.
if I'm right, this professor, he just found a way to create a virus again and again. So they needed for experiments. So
to grow, the Petri dish.
Yeah. Okay, so we covered this. Yeah, two heroes at least. And what about Morpheus? He's a hero. As well. No, not so. Okay.
He can dodge bullets.
Okay, Sergey, do you remember this subplot with a hostage situation with a lady who got taken like a hostage in China?
In Hong Kong,
yes,
maybe?
And the World Health Organization sent the lady for helping for investigation of start of virus in Hong Kong, but Chinese people stolen her, and they told kidnapped. Yeah, they kidnapped her, and they explained her. We are not a criminal. We wanted to help our children because we don't have vaccine, and please help us for saving their health. And during the movie, she was helping children, and in the end, the World Health Organization sent the vaccine for changing vaccine to a lady.
How we call it? Ransom, right?
Ransom, yeah.
Ransom, yeah. For ransom them. In the airport, the guy told her, "Oh yes, and we don't have enough vaccine, and we have sent the
placebo."
Placebo. Oh my God! And she laughed. Obviously, she loved their children, and she returned for them.
Yeah, let me ask Leila. Leila, was this lady a hero or not?
Me, I'm so emotional. So I think, yes.
Well, it's actually an interesting question. Sometimes we can do bad things for the sake of good things. I will kill you for sake to save my child.
It is difficult, Ivan.
Yeah, it's difficult. We never know where is balance. Do you remember these fist fights in shops for this fake cure? People saw they
I
saving
remember
themselves and others. But who knows where is the limit? Yeah. Good question. So I don't know. She's a criminal right now because she just she was involved to this fake kidnapping. So I think.
No, she wasn't an accomplice. She was kidnapped.
Yeah, but then it's changed, right?
Not really. It's a Stockholm syndrome, maybe.
They kept her prisoner until they got the vaccines, and then they released her.
Yeah.
So she wasn't doing anything wrong. She was a prisoner. She couldn't leave until they released her. Now, once they released her and she found out that the WHO had cheated those people by giving them placebo vaccines, she got angry at the deception.
Yes.
And that's when she got up and left. So I wouldn't call her a hero, but I would call her a person of integrity.
Yeah.
She was upset that they cheated 100 small kids just to save her life. That's what she was upset about. So she wasn't a criminal. She didn't play along with it. She was really surprised when they kidnapped her.
Yeah, I was surprised as well. Yeah, because it went well for some moment. She did the investigation very well as far as I see in the movie, and then surprisingly, they got.
Yeah, I thought the reason she was kidnapped was because she was going to reveal that their building was like the source.
Yeah,
and they didn't want embarrassment, so they were going to hide her or shut her up. That's what I thought.
I know you were sure that it was China's government who made the virus, right?
That's right.
Okay. Wasan, there is a subplot about corruption or using your position for yourself. Do you remember this Morpheus? He used his.
Yes, yes,
Can you,
yes, Morpheus.
can you
When he got to know about the severity of the disease and its spreading, he warned his love interest, I think, about the issue and ordered her to come out of the town, I think, to stay in a safe place. And unfortunately, by the human nature, we could not keep any secret for so long. So she said that secret to her close friend, and it got spreaded just like that widely. Then the chaos happened. People started to panic, and they wanted to get out of the city. The government blocks the road, and all the fights and all the things happened. Even some people tried to threaten her, the love interest of Morpheus, to get the vaccine from him because he is working in the government, so he might have got the vaccine in advance. So this is the plot.
Yeah, and he will get punished because of this, right? They say that your tribunal, what's the word? It's not tribunal. How you call this? He's going to get some judgment or something. People will investigate his case, right?
Administrative punishment, probably.
So it's probably not very severe, right? He will get a fine, will lose his position or something else.
Yeah.
But not
He
not
deserved it.
Leila, was he right or no? Did he have
No.
Oh, why not?
No. I mean, he should be punished, I thought, while I was watching the movie.
Yeah.
You know?
It was his fiance.
Yeah.
But what about other people?
Well, you know, if I were a person who knows some secret and my family were in danger, it would be my first call, you know, about my family, not about others. So.
But okay, I can understand it. I would call my son and say, please, but I never keep it as a secret because everybody has got the rights.
Run!
You know me. No way.
So what he did was wrong because he kept it a secret. He should have told everybody to leave Chicago.
Of course.
Okay, we got your position, yeah. But Leila, be careful.
Why?
Because panic is more deadly than virus, you know. We can see that now with coronavirus. It's not deadly as can you see that Josephina cannot join us today? You know why?
Yeah.
Because it's a panic in California. She wrote me at the morning that she cannot buy food. It's real, you know, all supermarkets are closed.
She might get a computer virus.
Yeah, so it's pretty serious and not about virus. It's about panic. It's about how people react. So probably she's in danger. I don't know. I hope everything is fine, but he cannot join us. You know? What's else, please?
Yes, if we watch the scene again, we can notice that he didn't say that at the first time. You know? He was talking to her generally. He resisted the temptation, and finally, when he was about to cut the call, to hang up, he said that just get away from that city. So I think he tried to be so genuine, but he couldn't. The human emotion towards the love interest overrides.
An incident. It was an incident. Someone heard something, so it was not. It was involuntary. How we call it? Not voluntary act. Involuntary. Something like that. Teacher Lee, please.
If you remember, there was one scene where Matt Damon looked out. He heard gunshots.
Yeah.
And he looked out the window, and it's like automatic fire, like bam, 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 bam. And I think people were going home to home stealing food because they couldn't get food.
Yep.
So in a deadly virus, I could see that in America easily becoming the norm. We've got so many people over here that we got so many guns and so many desperate people. I could see having to protect my family with my gun, you know. So this is a case where an AK-47 would be good for home defense.
But you have a dog, right? You have a dog, highly disciplined dog.
Yeah, he'll let me know. Yeah, he'll bite their ankle.
While I shoot them.
That's right.
So how we call these people? In Russian we have a word maroders or something. Marauder. It's a guy who using this panic position to steal things or to attack people. Looters.
We just call them looters.
Looters, right?
Good.
Looters.
It's like mob stealing, basically.
Yeah, and obviously there is no police, right? You have no one to call. Yeah. So
not in time.
Then it's better for me to buy a gun.
Yeah, please do it. If it's legal.
I don't know how to shoot.
But you can take lessons.
Okay, I will.
Okay, Gerard, do you remember that these looters, they were broke into this Morpheus house to find?
Yeah, they broke into
Morpheus house. Do you remember this?
Yeah, his fiancée was in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what they asked. I don't remember what they wanted.
They were sure that there is a vaccine in this house. Yeah, so they saw him on TV and they immediately went to his house. So it's kind of strange. I think government should protect families, of main characters or something. Sounds logical. Okay.
Especially Matt Damon. The government needs to protect Matt Damon. He's our treasure.
He got 2 guns, so he's
he has 2 guns.
Okay, Sergey, tell us about romantic story in the movie, about his daughter and the guy and what happened.
Yeah, and if I understood correctly, it was a second marriage for Matt Damon, and he has a daughter from the first marriage. And when he lost his family, and he met his daughter in the clinics, and after that the government closed border outside the city where lived Matt Damon, and daughter loved his neighbor, 15 years old maybe, but Matt Damon stopped to relationships between them because he afraid the share of coronavirus and between them, and they were waiting the giving the vaccine.
Vaccine, or how we call this shot? Vaccine shot? I don't know. This. So
yeah, we would call it a shot as well, just a shot, an injection.
Injection, yeah.
Injection,
more of a nasal spray, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And after giving,
receiving,
after giving the vaccine, daughter have met her boyfriend, and he danced in the room, and after that Matt Damon saw that, and they started cried about it, and he watched the photo, and the photo from
he found the camera, his wife's camera.
And but till end of the movie, I didn't understand who was lover of his
wife.
His wife, yeah, I don't understand.
It's just a random guy, he's not important for the story. It was just random guy in Chicago. He got virus, he died. It's all about him.
We move on.
Okay, I think we covered all. Do you remember anything else? Something important? What you want?
Vasant has a question.
But I think she didn't have an affair. I think, in the end, they clearly explained that it was spreaded from the chef of the restaurant that she was having dinner.
Yeah, exactly. So virus from this cook.
Bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, cook. So she has no affair. She didn't cheated on him. I think.
Yeah.
Vasant,
cheat.
he did. she did.
Okay.
She called this guy in Chicago and say, I can postpone my race, my flight to home. Let's meet.
Yeah, because I thought it was just an imagination from Matt Damon's side. So
unfortunately, Matt Damon is no, his marriage is not very strong.
Yeah, he will know.
I don't know if that man was her previous husband or just a previous boyfriend, but they had been lovers and they broke up, and then she married Damon, and she was coming home and she wanted to cheat on him, so she called that guy and said, I can lay over in Chicago for 5 hours if you think that's a nice, So he accepted. So, yeah.
5 hours. All I need is 20 minutes.
Okay, Gerard, tell us about the virus. What we learned, how it was born or created. What the word was?
I think it was a bat that dropped something in the middle of a pig's farm. Banana.
Did you say a bat, Gerard?
Bat, yes.
A bat. Okay. Isn't that like how the coronavirus was also started?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
What a coincidence.
And they had a pig virus too.
Yeah, the swine flu, right?
Yeah. So it's if you noticed, the movie started on day 2.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a little odd, but at the end of the movie they explained that, because then they show you day 1.
Yeah.
And day 1, a bat ate a banana, and then he dropped a piece into a bunch of pigs on a farm, and one of the pigs ate the banana, so that's the pig-bat connection. And then the pig got slaughtered and sold to a meat market, and the cook in the restaurant touched this pig and wiped his hands, and then he shook Matt Damon's wife's hand.
All right.
So she was the patient 0. She's the one that initially got it. Well, the cook too, but she's the one that spread it everywhere, I guess. It followed her anyway. So
In
that was day 1.
Hong Kong, I think.
Staying away from bananas from now on.
Yeah, and movie was 9 years ago, and just today I read that they found patient 0 for coronavirus, and it's a cook from Hong Kong. What a
Really? Wow. Jesus.
It was Macau.
Scary.
Okay.
Morpheus, let's talk one or two. We were talking about, is Morpheus a good guy or a bad guy? He did a bad thing by telling his fiance and kind of, breaking the rules. He did kind of a good thing later, which I don't know is necessarily what I would have done, but he gave his vaccine to a friend's boy.
Yeah, a janitor boy or something.
So what he did by doing that, it was noble, but his family needed him too. So by not taking his vaccine, he gave his wife a vaccine, but if he later died, he denied his family his support by giving it to a little kid. So I'm not sure that was noble to me. You're ignoring your family's welfare to help a little boy that has nothing to do with your family. So what do you think about that?
But we can see that many times, people swimming, trying to save each other in ice water, They can die. Firefighters, they go to save people and they have families. So we can see that, many times. And I think Morpheus, he felt guilty after all. He felt guilty and he wants some redemption, or what was the word for this, to strike back this guilt. my souls. Okay, guys, if we have something else, Leila, what do you think?
I don't know. It is really difficult to say something, but I think I will act on the spot. I don't know what to do. Maybe I will save the boy, or maybe I don't know. It's so difficult to decide now because
Go ahead.
yeah, because I
This,
haven't
this
experienced like this before, Lee.
Yvonne, it's different than what you're talking about. You're talking about life and death moments and life and death decisions. Morpheus, this wasn't life and death. He could sit there and go, should I risk my family losing a father and a husband, or should I save this boy? You know, he had time to think about it and make a conscious, weigh in of the facts. And he chose against his family and for this boy. So I would have chosen my family in this case.
Yeah, so he had time for logical solutions.
Sorry, can someone explain again what was the significance of the boy?
It was just a random boy, a son of his janitor or something, but he felt like...
So he wasn't some sort of cure or something like that? No.
He was not ill, as far as I know.
Okay, well, it shouldn't be a question then. Who are you going to go against? The family that you knew all your life, or?
Because
Go ahead, Vasant.
Because when he alerted his love interest, the janitor, how to say that, eavesdrops, or he happened to be there.
He eavesdropped, he said to listen in, yeah.
No, yeah, he just came into that room, so he witnessed that he was alerting his love interest. So
he overheard.
You are doing something selfish. So that is the reason for his guilt. So he helped that child.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, when Morpheus told his fiance over the phone, leave Chicago, that man was his janitor and heard him, and he said, "We've got family too, mister." and that's the guy's boy. So I think, as Vasant said, he said, "Okay, I saved my fiance. I'm going to save your son in compensation." It makes sense. Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I got a fireworks suddenly. Maybe coronavirus there or something.
or gunshots.
In my looking for food.
Give me that hand sanitizer.
It's my spaghetti.
Another point in this situation with janitor's son, I guess that really they all of them, they were out of danger already. There is a vaccination, all of them in the queue of vaccination. So it's just a gesture, but it doesn't change, not a game changer, I guess. Just an episode. Okay, we have a few questions from Vasant. Thank you, Vasant. Let's answer them. Okay, first one. What would have happened to these Chinese children in that village? You mean without kidnapping, right?
No, after that, because they didn't show that.
When
just leaving the airport.
Placebo. Good point. Actually, placebo is worse than absence of medication, right? Because you feel safe. Gerard, what do you think?
I think what the lady, the brunette lady, wanted to do is to warn them, because if they think they have the vaccine, they can risk their lives. They can catch the disease easily. So I think she went to warn the guy that kidnapped.
Do you remember these bracelets?
The bracelet with the vaccine came with a bracelet with a code, so you could prove that you are immune.
Yeah. So, I missed this point completely. So I did not understand why placebo is dangerous. So it answers questions. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Another one. What about this blogger story? What about his infection? Was that a normal fever or what? Sergey, tell us more about this blogger.
But to be honest, I don't understand the story about blogger, why he spreads the disinformation about virus.
For money, because he was, how we call it, he had a part of money in this fake cure.
No, but it's not my point. I don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. But you know, once he recorded a blog. He was like a sick in a fever. You know, I have a temperature. I'm going to die, but I have this. How they call it? Pharyngemia. So if tomorrow I will survive. You know, that works. You know, it was a big lie, I would say.
Okay.
So what
I should have watched the movie. It sounds a bit complicated.
Exactly. A few subplots.
Few subplots there, yeah.
And I like it the moment when when police. It wasn't actually police. Some, I don't know who it was. Some agents took this blogger. You know, they took him with a microphone. They arrested him. Yeah. It was a nice moment in the movie. Yeah. Okay.
You know, he claimed that that was an entrapment. But I think in America, entrapment is allowed. I'm not in Europe, I think. No.
Depends on the judge.
Well, technically, it's not allowed in Russia, but they use it a lot.
Now, the blogger, to me, it kind of exemplified real life in America. The blogger was arrested because he was putting 12 million people at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they arrested him, his bail to be released was $12 million. And all of his fans believed in him so much they contributed money to pay his bail, so he got released.
Oh,
So he was free again. So he got away with his profit scheme.
Well, it's not only in America, usually we have the same, you know, but without even money, you know. So when government arrests someone, his supporters start to manifestations and all the things, and government just send him back. Okay, you like him, take him. You know? Please do something. So they, our government, they made like small punishment, you know, like 10 days of arrest, you know, in case of Navalny, of course, and then he got back. So it's pretty normal for us. Okay, let's finish with the movie. I think we covered all. Let's talk about something interesting, you know, about coronavirus. You know, the situation is very, very similar, very close. We have a lot of such bloggers nowadays in Russia, in everywhere, I guess. So they spread a lot of fake information. You know, sometimes we have a lot of conspiracy theory. You know, some people write, in Moscow 1 million people died, but government don't tell us. You know,
yeah.
Schools are closing. We get in quarantines on our job places. So they told us, you know, you have government tell us you have a right to work remotely. If your employer against, we'll punish him. You know, no doubt. So something like this. So let's discuss it. Sergey, please.
Yes, I have questions for all participants. Please tell us about the situation in local country, in Spain, in Turkey, in US, of coronavirus, with the food, with the healthcare, with the panic, maybe.
Yeah, but let's describe our situation first. You know, how is St. Petersburg doing?
In St. Petersburg, I saw a lot of some examples of panic, but it's okay. But today I saw some Chinese tourists, 4 people, and a lot of people go away from them, and include me, because wow, it's I have to go from this shop. Today I washed my hand 15 times. And
not enough times.
I bought a special wet napkins after that.
napkins.
Yeah.
Well, in Moscow so far it's okay. You know, some schools are closed, but it's not a strong quarantine. So parents have to choose. Do I take a risk or not? So it's up to you. You can go, or you can. Government do nothing with that. So government is building now a huge hospital, like in China. Have you seen? So they're building it now in Moscow. It will be ready in a few days. And people who arrive from Europe, they have a quarantine. It's not in the hospital, it's in your house, but you have to stay for 2 weeks in your house. So that's all, no panic at all. So shops are full of everything what you need, but there is, I noticed it only one difference. You know, we have a lot of delivery services and all of them overloaded now. So usually I order something and I get this at the morning. Nowadays, I order something and I get it 4 days after. Something like this. That's all what I noticed. So tell us, Leila, how it's in Turkey?
All the precautions have been taken recently, and the death toll is 6 now. And what I have been learned is some 5 or 400 maybe all over the Turkey are ill. So we are not in panic, but if you go to a supermarket, people are buying a lot of food instead of buying what they need. And the thing is that we stop, shaking hands and we stop kissing our cheeks. This is a very Turkish way. Even men or women, they just give a hug. So we stop everything. And that's all. We always use soap, and Turkish soap are very famous,
Do you still have toilet paper? No,
a lot. I can send you. We can send you a lot.
No, we have it.
The schools are closed, Ivan.
Good to know.
Schools are closed.
Schools are closed. So you are teaching remotely, or what do you do?
No, not now. But the Ministry of Education is going to decide what to do, I think, soon. But I'm against online education.
But we got it now. So all the schools work remotely. So my boy's teacher, he will check the homeworks over the internet and do some classes over the Skype, I guess.
Now a 3-week holiday.
Okay. It saves the situation. 3
We
weeks.
will see.
Enough. Yeah, it's enough. Gerard, tell us, is it the army on the streets?
The situation in Spain is worse. Yesterday, our Prime Minister declared a state of alarm. It asks us to be confined at home. Unless some exception, you can go to buy food, something what you need, and some people can go to work. Most people can go to work, but they cannot work in public job, So malls, gyms, restaurants, bars, nightclubs, all the leisure spaces are closed. Even parks. You cannot go to the street to do some jogging, So you have to have a reason to go outside of your home.
But are you safe? Can you buy food still?
Yeah, but toilet paper, some things that were gone, but will be refurnished again soon enough. So the government is telling, don't panic, we have everything. We control the people that go inside the supermarket, the amount of people, only 1/3 of the people, of the maximum people allowed. So people cannot go in mass the way they have gone lately. So it's worse the remedy than the action, They went in mass and they had a likelihood to catch the illness and only to get some things that all the same, we will have them.
And what about job security? I mean, do you work now or your place is closed?
I'm working. I work alone, so I don't have any problem.
Okay.
But there are some rules. You need to keep a distance with your partner, at least 1 meter or 1.5 meters, and wash your hands, or maybe wearing gloves. I think wearing gloves could be the best solution because mask is not that useful, but gloves are.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands. But you are wearing gloves all the time. You only need to remove them when you arrive at home.
Yeah, good. Vasant, anything new from India?
Yes, as far as I know, we have 73 coronavirus affected people in India. So I think the number is lower than other countries. And we are taking the precautions. And everybody is talking about the coronavirus. And
Yeah, it's the only topic
Yeah.
in Russia.
Yes, a few weeks ago, me and my cousin and I were traveling by public transport, and I could hear more than 6 people coughing in that bus. And I looked at I looked at my cousin, and he said, like, I know what you are thinking. It is common. It's just your brain is working today very well. My senses are getting better after the coronavirus alert.
Andrew, you are working remotely, right? So you are not affected most.
No. Well, I work in the academy that I have.
Yeah.
So I have all students that got closed, got shut down temporarily. I don't know for how long. I have a few classes online, but it won't be enough to cover my costs. My main income was from the academy. So not looking great, but I'm currently living in Spain, although over in Ireland, the Irish army will be roaming the streets tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Irish army in
Yeah.
Ireland?
Schools have been schools have been shut for 16 weeks, I believe. So it's quite, my friends are happy. My friends are enjoying it because they don't have to go to college. So, but yeah, it's not looking good for some people, and for some people they can manage.
But did I hear, 16 weeks or 16 days?
Yeah, 16 weeks. That's in Northern Ireland now. I'm not sure in the Republic of Ireland, but in Northern Ireland, I live close to the border, and they're shut for 16 weeks, which is a long time, right? So it might change, but for now it is 16 weeks. I was walking my dog last night here in Spain, and the police were looking at me. I was with my little cousin. I told her to get down, hide, quick, the cops. Yeah. So and we had chili con carne last night for dinner, so we might need to stock up on more toilet paper.
I would invite you to Russia, to save you, but it's impossible now, no flights anymore. And if you get there, you will get quarantined for long. So.
Well, that's the thing. My academy was supposed to close around May anyway, and I was going to go home for the summer to Ireland. So,
can you fly now?
I'm not sure. I have to look into it. I'm sure it'll be okay.
We still can commute inside the Russia, but outside is...
I'm not sure about European flights. I know they've banned the flights to America from European countries. I'm not sure about flying European to European, because my dad flew yesterday, so...
Okay, guys, maybe we don't need English anymore, Globalization is over, so...
we might, unless everybody from each nation have to get together, and then we all don't understand each other.
Teacher Lee, how it's in your place? So all safe?
I don't ever go out. My wife goes and buys groceries, and same thing. The shelves are empty a lot of times. It's crowded. Toilet paper's gone. Bottled water's gone. Frozen food is gone. Sanitizer's gone. She was lucky yesterday. She went to the store right when they had toilet paper delivered. So people were coming out with toilet paper, and she went, wow. And what happened
Christmas.
was the grocery stores got a ration. Now you can only buy 1 pack of toilet paper. You can't buy 20, big packs. You can only buy 1 or 2 per person. So that makes more sense to me. It lets more people get material. So I like that.
We had that in USSR. In USSR, I had a paper that I have 5 members in my family, so I can get 5 breads, 5 pieces of bread.
Okay. We call that rationing.
Rationing. Okay. Good. Sergey?
Yes, and to continue on the topic about toilet paper in USSR, we have that. We don't have the toilet paper. We used the newspaper. It was okay. It's true.
Well, the sports section, was it?
No, it's a political news is the first part.
I just read in the news that some Americans magazines, they started to print blank pages, 8 blank pages in every newspaper. So you know what to do.
Back to the USSR.
But really, I don't understand why people buy toilet paper. I don't understand this. Is that not happening in Russia? Not happening only in America?
Well, they're afraid they're going to be stuck in their home for a month or two. And if you've got, 2 parents and 3 kids, you go through a lot of toilet paper.
Especially if you have something like the flu, you're constantly blowing your nose. It's like that. There's always tissue paper you find it in a room when somebody's sick, right? On the ground, in the corner.
Okay, but usually in Russia we're more concerned about food than about toilet paper or something.
Yeah. I think about it.
Food
About
is a
alcohol,
necessity.
Do I have enough vodka first? Then Vasans, please.
Yeah. How are you not sure that the resources, when you are limited to resources, and it is not getting stocked by some certain people in power, right? Because it happens in India whenever we lack onions and we have a huge demand for onions, but some retailers, the wholesalers would store it in a separate place, and they would wait for some time for the price hike, and they would sell after that. So something like that. So
yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Do we call this cartel or something?
We call it price gouging.
Price gouging. So some retailers, they make like a legal agreement, right? Let's don't sell this now. Let's sell this on the next week. Yeah. Okay, we had them.
Why are the onions a high demand, Vasant?
Yeah, when the rain overfalls, how to say that? We have
because they need the onions to make the Bollywood actors cry, is it?
Yes. We have huge demand. And we have the shortage. Yeah, we would ask Turkey, and we did. We asked Turkey for the onions, but the taste was different, and every Indian started to return the onions. So the government had a very bad time at that time.
Well, it's a very funny story. I have not heard before. Sergey, what do you think? What is the first-class product in Russia? What we should, have in deficiency to start suffering?
I forgot the name of English. It's grechka.
Okay, it's a special porridge. Yeah, we eat it only in Russia, so there is no English name for it.
Like oatmeal.
Yeah, something like this. Yeah, but different. I don't think if it has an English name. So it's a traditional Russian porridge. Everyone eats it.
Buckwheat.
Have you heard about it? Probably no. So 2 countries have it. Russia and Poland. That's all.
Yeah.
Whenever I need that.
Well, we don't want it. You can keep it.
So we are
in
safe,
Russia, in
not caviar.
We are safe, Sergey. No one wants our food. It's not hamon anymore.
In Russia, we have the special indicator of the heart of crisis, the price of buckwheat.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever we have a crisis, in 2008, right, last one, we just compare prices. Okay, it's not that bad, you can still buy this porridge. Okay, so now crisis not started yet, according to this indicator. Okay, but Gerard, do you have some products that you will suffer if it will be absent?
No, here in Spain, the main product was toilet paper.
But it's strange. Why?
And meat, the second meat.
Yes.
Yesterday I went to the supermarket and the shelves of meat. But vegans have their products.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the vegan section's got everything, yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, slides? Anything else, guys? Do you have any questions, Sergey?
Yes, I have a question for Gerard, and I heard that in Spain we have a tradition to meet each evening in the pub, in the restaurant, in the cafe. But now we have the border of for meeting the people. How you live without restaurant, without cafe each evening? Where is the prepares the food?
At home. People eat at home. People is confined to stay at home. Even you cannot go to visit your friends. You need to stay at home with your family, just that, so that you cannot have the chance to infect other people.
It's Gerard. It's like now every hour is siesta hour now on the streets.
Sergey, you can Google people. People play musical instruments on balconies.
In Italy.
Yeah.
And have you seen Gerard in Seville? There is a man doing a workout video instruction, and everybody from the apartment balconies are following it. 1, 2.
Yeah. Because we are people, after all. We need socialization. We don't have to stay here. So we
cannot go to the gym.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Something that
yes,
just a comment. Something that's a problem in America is once you start shutting down schools, now the kids have to stay home, and the parents who have to go to work can't go to work because childcare is so expensive here. They gotta stay home with the small kids. So now they can't go to work and get income. So it's a hardship for parents with small kids when the schools close.
Usually it's everywhere, not only in America, because nowadays you cannot afford babysitter because everyone needs them, and and actually babysitters, they don't want to work anymore in others' families because no one wants to spread the virus.
What do you think the government should do to help out families?
Well, our government, they still pay salaries for governmental sector. Can I say so? So the companies that get salary from government, they continue to sell. Some companies, they getting refund of insurance fund in Russia. So we have some insurance money for that situation. So your employer pay you, government refund him. So something like this. So it's not economically bad so far, but this fund, it's not, not for forever. So eventually it will be exhausted, I guess. I don't know how long we have, how many time we have.
Another problem, all people are asked to take care of, the children. And that's the problem because those people are the ones that are really at risk. If they catch the disease, they have a high probability to die.
Yeah. The biggest thing is giving it to other people. A lot of kids will be safe, most. But the biggest problem is giving it to elderly people who mightn't have the best chance of surviving, right?
Leila, please.
I was going to say that in Turkey for 3 weeks, the schools are closed. If you're a single parent, you are on leave. You don't have to go to work and you are going to get paid. If you have two people, parents, one of them is going to be on leave and the situation is the same again. I was going to say also, my son is in Rome and I was so scared. But now the situation is better. So I was going to ask Gerard, in Spain, is the situation so terrible?
I think we'll have the situation that they had in Italy. So now the cases are growing and growing. Now we have 300 people dead and 8,000 cases.
Okay.
But mostly old people, Leila. So your son isn't safe. Yes, he's safe.
They are in Toscana, in a small village there, which is France, and it is the quarantine. You can't go out. Is it curfew? Am I right?
Yep.
On curfew, yeah.
Sometimes, at nighttime you have to stay inside.
They are. I talk to him every day.
Good that we have Skype. Imagine it's 50 years ago, we will be not aware of anything, just write a letter and wait for 3 months. Something like this. Teacher Lee, you had a...
I was just going to say one other thing that's interesting in America is a lot of colleges have shut down. So they're allowing online courses. And they're not reducing the tuition. They're still charging you full tuition to take courses online. So a lot of people are upset about that.
Do you know
Rightfully so.
Coursera? Have you heard about this? It's a
Yeah.
internet site for massive online courses. So from yesterday, if I'm right, it's for free. You know, you can go there and teach and learn anything. Usually it's paid classes, but now because of this situation, it's free.
Yeah.
And also, Gentlemen's Pornhub offers a discount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. Not that we would know, you know.
No, I read in the news.
The biggest thing for me is because I'm such a big movie fan is all my favorite movies are getting delayed. The new James Bond got pushed back until November.
Wow.
Yeah. And
But
A Quiet Place too.
I have a lot of series to watch, you know, so I'm not in age.
You can catch up now.
Ivan, do you want me to send you some Turkish movies?
I watched 2 Turkish movies and I cried like a baby. I cannot.
Yeah, you told me.
Masans, please.
Yeah, and in India, the financial year cycle is from April to March. So technically, we are at the end of financial year, and usually every year we were pushed to get more to achieve the targets. But this time, no, we are free now due to this crisis.
I can confirm that you know, financially and companies, they are relaxed now, so no one is pressing, you know, the employers make the plan, you have to meet something. No, it's all relaxed now. And we can see like stock market is down and Russian currency is down, so everyone is ready. It will be a hell, you know, just relax and wait. Okay, anything else? Let's make some slides.
We have a saying: it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Exactly. So let's just wait a bit. Okay, let me find my chat. Okay, Contagion. Okay. It's a virus. Can you see this this drawing or this font?
Nice job.
Microbes.
Keep it away from me.
Okay, let's start from this one. Gerard, please, could you?
This is Kate Winslet, the doctor from the MCD or the WHO. I don't know. He's talking about the rate of contagion. You know the.
Are not.
Are not that teacher Lee talked about before. So she doesn't know which rate of contagion has this new illness. I think it's higher than the ones that he's writing on the blackboard. Smallpox, polio, but now the polio, there is a vaccine for the polio, so it's not a problem nowadays.
We have a vaccination, right? Everyone is vaccinated at the childhood. Guys, I haven't asked you, but do you have like a mandatory vaccination in your country? Yeah. So it's probably over the world now. Okay, good. Any questions? Or we can go? Not too much on this picture. Okay. Oh, good one. Masans, please.
Here is they are examining the virus and trying to find the cure. And this room has a lot of springs. I think they're oxygen tube, right, to get the supply of oxygen inside the suit.
I guess it's not oxygen, just air, you know. So it's just air. They try to make pressure inside your suit, so nothing can get into your suit because it's like excessive pressure from it.
Would that be like a hazmat suit, Lee? Do you think?
Yes, we call them in the nuclear industry. We have these too. We call them bubble suits because you blow up like a bubble.
Right.
It's pressurized air, so nothing can leak in. The clean air will leak out. So it's a very clean, safe suit. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
You guys have to buy one. To go for toilet paper in your shop.
have you guys seen the film with I think it's called Bubble Boy with Jake Gyllenhaal,
No.
where he has to live in a bubble for an amount of time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Virus as well, yeah.
Yeah. Notice everything in this room is made of metal, stainless steel, because that surface is easy to sanitize.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they mentioned it in the movie, and they said that virus stay on the metal for longer than in the different surfaces. I'm not sure, but it was something like that, something special about metal.
I can't remember.
Maybe just a fictional fact.
Well, they said that about the coronavirus as well, that now they figured it'll stay on a door handle for up to 3
Yeah.
weeks or something.
Don't touch handles. Use
Or gloves. Gloves,
use
yeah.
gloves, yeah.
Yeah.
Sergey, where is your gloves? Show them.
Shoulder.
show your gloves.
Does the glove fit?
I don't have a glove. But today I had a meeting with my friend in St. Petersburg, and we say hello our elbows.
We shake.
Yeah.
The OJ. Yeah.
Okay, so high security room, right? All clear. We can see this indicator, green, all clear. We can see red, I don't know, light that makes you sure that door is closed.
Red and green. I suspect if something were to happen inside the room, like your suit would tear or something like that, where you might be infected, that all clear might go to, warning, and the door might lock and you can't get out. I'm not.
Or kill them. Get the gun.
Poison gas.
There is a strange kind of window, this metal window.
That looks like a door to pass things through, right, Lee?
Could be some kind of panel, yeah.
How we would call this small table? Small table with chairs. You can
just
move
a cart or a wheeled cart.
Yeah.
Good. Well, okay, looks good. I would say looks like I have never been in a laboratory, but it suits my imagination. And I remember this series Breaking Bad. Do you remember? And they have this bubble suits.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on. So blogger and professor. Sergey, please tell us something.
Yes, there is a meeting with the blogger and the old professor, and behind them we can see the building, like a hospital maybe, and the blogger wear cap like English style, and he uses outdoor recorder, and he has a backpack with a metal bottle.
It's a flask.
Yeah. Maybe it's a, how we call these things that keep it warm. A thermos.
Thermos, yeah.
Thermos, yeah.
Because he was hunting for professor. He was sitting on the street for a long time. So, like,
Okay. Yeah.
What's the name for the stalker? No?
Stalking him, yeah. Stalking.
Yep. Okay.
Professor's wearing a trench coat, long coat.
Yeah. And I just recall that, blogger, he was like he was nobody. So girl from a magazine, from real newspaper, she just humiliated him. Like, you are not one of us. You are not a reporter. We do the real news, but you just, you just write on the internet.
Yeah.
But he's also reaching 12 million people, which is a lot.
Yeah, and right? Make millions of dollars, I guess. So I think he changed for a bad person so fast because he was like, sub-diet. I don't know what word for this. He was like humiliated for so long. So he needed revenge or something. He needs something bad, to be a person. Okay, let's find something with many details. Okay, kidnapping scene. Gerard? Could you?
Yes, we can see that is Marion Cotillard being kidnapped by the guys in Hong Kong. So they put her inside the van and put a blindfold in her eyes, so she
Over her eyes?
over her eyes, so she wouldn't know the place where she was going to. And you know, the guys didn't hurt her.
Mm-hmm.
They showed her people ill in a small village. Mm-hmm. So that's it.
Teacher, I don't think it's a bicycle, Rex. It's it's just a
banister, maybe.
Just a barrier. Okay.
A barrier,
barrier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We use them a lot in Moscow to form, these crowds, So in
Okay.
metros, they use it to divide the people going in different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll call them crowd control barriers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Crowd control. Have you noticed this building behind? It's a huge one, right?
Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Looks like a Uhань.
Skyscraper or a building.
Yeah.
But it's
Probably apartments.
Yeah, there are a lot of buildings like that, exactly like that in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Do you have such buildings in Spain?
We sort of like that, Jared. Not exactly, but
Not many.
there aren't any skyscrapers. Like there are a lot of apartments.
We have very few in Moscow, but we think bad about them. How we call the nest of ants? How we call it? Nest.
Ant bed.
Ant bed.
Ant bed. Yeah.
Yeah. So we ant bed. Yeah. So we
America
call this,
has some of the greatest skyscrapers. Whereabouts are you from, Lee?
Well, I'm in Florida right now, so it's pretty flat down here.
Yeah. No, we had a house out there. I used to live out there in Kissimmee, in Orlando,
Okay.
by Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we combine like ant bed and human in Russian and say like human ant bed or something about such a building. So people live there only if it's the only choice financially. So they don't live there because they want to.
Yeah.
Or a colony, like bees in a colony, so a human colony.
So they're there against their will, are they?
Not against. It's not against your will, but it's because you can afford only this type of flat. So because it's cheap. So you.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it's all about finances. It's not about someone pressed you to live there. Okay, Vasants, please describe this one.
It is, I don't know what kind of stadium is that. Maybe an indoor stadium.
School, probably a school gymnasium.
Okay.
Large one.
And I think this is the gallery. And they are putting camps inside the field, putting beds, tents, a lot of what do we call the white color floors, something like that. For an incubation or something like that. The white color.
You mean this tents?
Building.
Right?
Yeah, tent. Yeah.
Tents. Okay.
Yeah. We don't really have a name for them. I would call them bubble tents or isolation tents based on their function.
Containment centers, maybe.
Containment tent, yeah.
Have you noticed there are soldiers? We can see two soldiers in these masks. They staying on this, aisles. How we call this?
Yeah. Would you have a certain word in America for the stands? Would you call them bleachers, right? Or
we can call them bleachers, stadium seats.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Ireland or in English, we would say a stand.
Stand?
A stand, yeah.
Stands, yeah.
I see. So
even though you sit down on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So there are some ratings. FEMA. No, what is this? Probably.
FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
I see. But it seems like international thing. We use these stadiums as well. When we had in the past, when we had terrorists, so people were combined to this because it's it's always like how to say it?
Big.
It's big, it's warm, it's easy to maintain people, it's easy to work with them, so it's a good place, I guess.
And it probably has a couple of restrooms, which is a bonus.
Yes.
With toilet paper.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So how would we call this type of roof? So it's frameworks on the top.
Usually we have a term Quonset hut. So it's kind of a Quonset roof. It looks like half of a 55-gallon
I see.
tank or just an arched roof.
Mhm.
Okay, arch. Good one. Okay, let's move. What is happening here? Sergey, tell us about this picture.
It's a pharmacy. A lot of people want to have their advertised
Fake cure.
fake cure. Yeah. And they broken the window, and the pharmacy shop assistant wear the mask and the gloves and the white robe like me, and and we can see some mask on the center, the column.
On the column, yeah, we can see some products and probably mask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
masks.
Yeah, and we can see the special glasses for analysis. The green glasses, plastic glasses.
Is it glasses? You mean these small jars, right?
Yeah.
Small tubes.
Yeah. Small tubes.
Mhm.
Containers or tubes.
Containers. Yeah. Small container for analysis.
Okay.
Medicine bottles. Yeah, and there are a lot of examples of drugs.
Mhm.
And,
But not that much, you know. The shelf it's empty almost.
oh yeah.
And we would say smash as well. He smashed the window.
Smash the window.
It's a good word. He smashed, yeah.
Mhm. So why they got angry, Sergey?
Because they don't have enough drugs, because he told we have only 50 doses for all per day.
So what people in the USSR used to do in this case, Sergey?
I think that's all okay, and then we have to organize the.
We had a pen and we have a hand. So they just write. They just write number on your hand.
Forgot the name of the очередь. Queue. We have to organize the queue, and after that we started to write the number.
Yeah. So in Soviet Union, people did not stay there. So you don't have to stay there the whole time. You just got your number and you go away and you return and get your what you have to.
Yeah, and maybe you can buy your place in the queue.
Yeah, you can sell or buy your number. Yeah. It's a separate business.
Like for iPhones, like for new iPhones.
Okay. Anything else, guys? Any questions?
Usually for a line, we have a little device called a clicker. When you click it, it counts up digitally. 1, 2, 3. So we'll go click, 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 and we get a count.
Yeah. Now
Go ahead.
Now it's very popular. We have a device. I don't know how to call it. It's a small like box with a paper strap inside, and you just tear one, and it has a number on it. So you just counter some in a way. There are a lot of them in Spain. Andrew, how they called?
Yeah, maybe a ticket roll where you grab the ticket and wait. Yeah, we have them in Ireland as well. Yeah. We're not so advanced like America just yet.
Well, in government buildings we have electronic devices for that, but in the shops we have just simple one with a paper. Okay, let's make a last one and go. Boom, boom, boom. Let's choose this one. Gerard, could you please?
Okay. Here the city of Chicago has a lockdown, so people cannot leave. And Matt Damon is discussing with a soldier, but he didn't have the chance to leave the city. He has to come back, like all the people. of the cars that are queuing, lining.
How we call this type of quarantine? It's a like
Lockdown.
Okay. Well, I have no idea how they will go back, because the lane is so
narrow.
So if they start to shoot, even I don't know what to do. So what can I do?
Duck and cover.
Yeah, he said if you don't turn around, I've gotta detain you. He said, detain me where? There's no place to keep.
Okay, thank you guys very much for this, for coming.
Bye, guys.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Enjoy your
Bye.
week. Wash the
Thank you very
hands,
much.
okay? Wash your
Yeah.
It was nice to meet you.
Bye.
Nice to meet you,
Bye.
Andrew.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.